really excited to be able to share with our class of 1968 and other alum that I believe will be in town this weekend for the Memories of Clyde event, to show off our new facilities, for the folks to come in and see how the building has changed over the years. Some things are the same, but certainly some things are brand new, and it's really exciting to be able to show it off and say hi to these guys and gals, and I'm really excited for the event today. So I'm Mike Hayden, and I'm the Superintendent of Schools here in Clyde-Savannah. This is my 8th year, going on my 8th year as Superintendent, and prior to that I was a Director of Curriculum Instruction here. I started in the district in 2012. So as you have come in, you'll see that the face of the back of the building has changed significantly. You may remember an old transportation garage or over there that was taken down. And now we have where that transportation garage was. You'll see this little terrace area. That is part of our new cafeteria. You'll be absolutely amazed when you see that space. And then we always said, you know, we want an opportunity for kids and staff to be able to have fresh air. As much as we can get outside is great, and that'll be a sitting area for our students and staff for meals and any other activities we want to take advantage of over there. Gym? So the gym, I will show you, it's on the other side of the building. I don't know how many of you may have been here when the gym was right inside here.
Yeah, the gym was right
so let's go see the space. We'll start with that. So I would imagine that this space is, for the most part, similar to what it was here. We have 2 offices now. The middle school or the junior high school office is to your right, and the high school office is to your left. And then the nurse's office will be right through there. That was a new renovation last year. And then we have our facilities office right over there. But this is the library.
And this used to be huge to me. I know. This is that whole space.
And this is the library. For some of you that may have been here, that could have been the gym. This was converted into a library before I became the superintendent here. But like I was mentioning, in the design, they wanted to marry the strong traditions of our athletics program with the academics of a traditional design of library. So I thought they did a really nice job with that design here. This again was converted this year. It served as our cafeteria because we were busy building the new cafeteria. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of the cafeteria tables here. So what we'll do is I think we'll go out the back exit there. We'll make a left. We'll go down that hallway. That hallway is primarily high school. You'll see our new art rooms. I'll bring you into those new spaces. They're on the far end of the hall. And then we just have health, family and consumer science classrooms, some special education rooms there, and our guidance suites, our mental health suite. We have a school psychologist, school counselor. We have Wayne Behavioral. We have a satellite office from Wayne Behavioral. So if students need support for that, they don't have to, drive to the county offices to do that. We can support them right here. And we also are fortunate enough to have drug and alcohol counseling staff here as well through Delphi Rise is the organization. So we are really, really so fortunate to have all of those supports for kids and staff as well if we need. So I'll take it down there. We are full back to school 5 days a week, full days, and we're going to be wearing masks to be able to do it, which is okay. I want to get kids in here. I want them to be in person. If this is all we have to do, I could deal with it. We'll show you the auditorium. So this is the original auditorium. We are we're definitely outgrowing this, believe it or not. It is a beautiful space. We love that chandelier. That's really it's a historical piece actually, that chandelier. And it looks like a decent-sized auditorium and has been, but our music groups, as you know, have always been second to none. Our music program here is incredible. I always get embarrassed, I will say it, I'm embarrassed when at least for our elementary concerts, if you've ever been here and seen any grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or any family members performing, we have parents that are standing 4 rows deep in the foyer to watch their kids on stage. And you can imagine as a superintendent how that feels. Like, I want you to be able to sit in a nice chair to watch your children. So we're at a point, believe it or not, where we need to think about in our next capital project, how do we accommodate and support our performing arts?
We had our senior lounge when I was a senior.
Yes, so a few years back, this still was a senior lounge. They used the porch out there.
There's no parking out there, though.
That's the only issue, is the parking. We'd have to figure that out. Our home ec room is in here, Family and Consumer Sciences.
I always call them, nope, stand, sorry.
If you've been seeing, we have all these wonderful quotes and inspirational quotes. So as kids and staff walk up and down the stairs, they get to see these little quotes, and I think it's just a nice touch. So this past year, the COVID safety guidelines that schools had to put in place were amazing, as you can imagine. We were fortunate enough with some of our vendors and grants that we have had and donations from companies to be able to get some really high-tech technology to help us with our screening as kids were coming in. The big thing was, as you know, having to take temperatures. So all the kids did their health screenings, the staff did their health screenings. Did you have symptoms? Did you have this? All the things that you fill out when you go to the doctors or everywhere else. We had to do the same thing here for like 700 and something kids and 200 something staff on a daily basis. That's a lot. So you can imagine the amount of time it was taking for folks to come in. Originally we had the forehead thermometer. So we have some really cool technology. So this one here actually reads my temperature from my eyes. So I just have to stand here. I don't know how it works, but it takes your temperature, and so we had this also in the main entry where we came in, the single point. You can opt to stand in front of it, take your temperature, and it's very quick. We also had ones that you just put your wrist under, and it very quickly read your temperature, and it said, "You're free to proceed," or "Please stay here." Again, this is the chorus room currently. This could have been the library at one point. Yeah.
It was. Was it? No.
You may notice all the new lockers. These are part of our capital project as well. These were installed last summer. Our science wing, and these rooms down here are science wing also.
Doc Walter. Chuck Drake was way down on the end. In the locker bay.
These kids are all young.
I was hoping to go to my old locker. I think I still remember the combination.
This was Kathy Myers.
Gene was around here somewhere.
So you'll also notice as you've been walking around the building, you'll see a lot of these markings. For our COVID safety guidelines, we had to ensure kids were 6 feet apart. So this was our temporary serving line for the cafeteria and the kids were eating in the library while we were building our cafeteria. So you'll see these markings. They wanted with the guidance to have kids on, not congregating. So they really did a great job, believe it or not, following the traffic patterns on stay on the right side of the hallway when you're walking, stay 6 feet apart. They really, really did a great job. We were also worried that they weren't going to wear their masks, but these kids were great. They really did, and it was fine. You also notice that our all high-tech water fountains, we did have to cover the actual drinking spouts, if you will. for the COVID guidelines, but we had these water fill stations. These are all filtered water, so kids bring in their water bottles. They'll fill up their water bottles, and it's all filtered there. So that's great. The first renovation down here completed before I arrived. They were just finishing up. So I want to say that project started, around about 2009-ish or so. You'll notice all of the beautiful walls. The tiling here is really gorgeous. All the new lockers, obviously. So this is just a really beautiful space. And then our last capital project, you'll see all those new spaces as part of this as well. So this is our brand new cafeteria. And I'm going to open up those doors so you can see it. So. Thank you. Yeah. Our vision of this when we first were designing it is we really wanted to look like a food court, right? So a lot of when our kids are going to college, this is what they're going to be experiencing. This is like a collegiate food court. And so we wanted to give our students that experience. We wanted natural light. A lot of our new spaces will incorporate all natural light coming in. A lot of really cool modern fixtures with the lighting. We have high top tables, we have booths, we have that really cool design back there. This flooring here is beautiful terrazzo. I know a lot of new constructions, they're not using this material anymore, but this material, as you know, the terrazzo in all of our buildings, it lasts forever. So it was a little bit more expensive, but in the long run, this is going to last forever. A really cool design, and there's some controversy over this, and I'll explain. So this black depiction, this is a depiction of the Erie Canal. And so Clyde-Savannah is, or where Clyde is on the Erie Canal, it says Clyde, then you have Syracuse, Rochester, Albany, and Buffalo. But it is not aligned to our compass, okay? So some people, this is not right. If I'm standing here and I'm to the east over there, Albany should be to the east, not Buffalo. Well, I say, well, if I'm standing over here, this is right? To my right is Albany. And that really wasn't supposed to be aligned to our compass rose. It's just a depiction of the Erie Canal and our history of Clyde being Clyde on the Erie. So we wanted to incorporate that in. If those of you that know Chris King, our art teacher, he's been in the district for a number of years. He has created a number of years ago and commissioned the emblem of our district. So if you've seen our golden eagle, and it's kind of changed over the years, but we've been using Mr. King's design in everything we do, all of our branding, our forms, our t-shirts, anything that we do with our golden eagle. It's really awesome that our own teacher has designed that, and we use it everywhere. And how proud does he feel, and do we feel, that his design is embedded in a terrazzo floor. And this is a highlight of what that eagle looks like in here. We're actually an approved catering kitchen, so I'd love for you to just peek back behind here. There are no schools that have a kitchen like this. So as we have less and less resources that may be happening in town,
There's nothing to get a cup of coffee.
right? So we're going to have a coffee bar here, which at different times of the day we're going to try to open up to the community as well, taking into consideration safety and all that. But we feel the way that this is designed and access from that area, this is going to be for the community to use as well.
All right.
All right. Ready for a dip?
Wow.
Yeah. Well, this is absolutely amazing. If you remember the pool, it used to be configured the other way, right? And very low ceilings, not a lot of light, very humid. It was I'm sure when it was first installed that it was, at the time, pretty modern. But over the years, it just became, it was at the end of its life. And we needed to make a decision, what are we going to do with the pool? Are we going to get rid of a pool? Are we going to do something else, fill it in, and find another use for that space? But, we have, and I've learned over the years, really a pretty dominant swim culture in Clyde-Savannah. We do. And so when we had the opportunity to think about what we could do with this pool, we almost were not going to be able to do the pool, because if you look at this is millions and millions of dollars. The cafeteria, everything that you're seeing, this was almost a $30 million capital project. And then you ask, how the heck were we able to do a $30 million capital project without impacts to taxes? Because I won't do a project if I have to say that we're going to increase taxes. And there are ways to be able to raise the money so there's no impact to local share. We created a capital reserve. So over the years we were putting money into a capital reserve. And we got very creative. And I don't think the state education department liked this. I think we may have been one of the last schools to utilize a creative way to get funding. And this is everything that you're seeing is called a three-wall renovation. It's technically not a new construction. So as long as we were able to keep one wall, right, one of the C wing, and yes, we've done a lot to it. We pretty much took everything down. There was nothing here. So it's a new construction, but from state ed standpoint and state aid, because we get about almost 97% state aid back on the project. So there's we're getting over 20 years, we're getting aid payments coming in. And believe it or not, the money that the community was putting into the capital reserve over the years, that cash, it was 2-point-something million over however many years it took to put it in. So when you use that money and pay for a capital project in cash, you're getting aid back on the cash that you're putting in. So believe it or not, this sounds crazy, we're making money off of this project over the course of 20 years. The beautiful natural light again, and a cool design in the ceilings that are kind of wavy. Just a beautiful space. I figure we'll hang out here for a while.
This is where you spend most of your time.
This is another amazing space. Again, our goal and our vision is not only will this be used for our phys ed classes, our sports teams, and for conditioning and strength training, but for our community to use. This is a state-of-the-art gym. People would pay big bucks in monthly fees to come here and a membership for a gym with this equipment. But our athletic director, our 21st century program coordinator, they're working on a schedule and staffing that will be open in the morning, will be opening in the evening and different hours for folks to come in. Some schools that do have gyms like this, they charge a membership fee, very minimal, $1, $2, $5. I'm not. Our taxpayers pay taxes for this, so it's free. We just have to figure out what the schedule would be. But this is top of the line, state-of-the-art equipment, and this is fantastic. You can do everything on here. If you're not really big into lifting the dumbbells and the bench press, you have the Nautilus equipment over here. So this is just this meets the needs of individuals who don't want that. And then we have a lot of cardio as well. That's the band room. I think at one point that may have also been technology, but converted into the band room. Our new technology, one of the things that we are really happy with is we have a lot of innovative technologies. 3D printers, a lot of work being done with 3D printers, as you know, so we have a number of those. CNC machine here. We have a laser engraver, and this does a lot of work there. We just installed 3 welding stations. We're finding, and as you may realize, that there is such a demand for carpentry, for plumbing, for electricians, for the trades. Yes, we have a lot of this going on, and this is important. And as we're building and manufacturing our modern equipment, that's great, and we're going to need that. But we also need people who know who are plumbers and are electricians and know how to weld and those types of things. So we really try to have that balance of the traditional industrial arts and our advanced manufacturing. We did want to have in the original plans, and I say that we got everything we wanted. That's not totally true, because we were going to have an addition to this space just about the same size. Not that we didn't have the money to do it, but we ran into some unpredicted contaminated soil right where the cafeteria is. At one point that was a bus garage, and there was a fuel tank and oil that we found in the soil. So we had to remove that oil and that contaminated soil. That put a big dent in our ability to build this other space. So all new LED lighting in here. The floors were all resanded, repainted, and it's just a beautiful space. Behind you is the rock wall, climbing wall. We got that through the PEP grant a number of years ago. And the kids love that. That's such a fun thing to do. And some of those kids go all the way up to the top, and I don't know how they do it, but I can go up like 2 levels. And then I'm going to just take you through the last space, and then that'll conclude our tour for today. This old weight room, not much bigger than this. So you can imagine how cramped it was, and how there was a competition of time in here. So what sports team was going to get in the weight room? You can imagine who was taking preference over the weight room. But now it's big enough for everyone to use it, like I said. It's always special. I love showing off the district. I'm so proud of our school. I love being the superintendent here. Again, I've been here for 8 years. And I hope to retire from here. I know I got a ways to that. But this is a special place, and you have all contributed to making this a special place when you were here. So I'm happy to carry on those traditions that you were all part of, and create new ones, and invest in the infrastructure of this facility so it's here for many, many, many more years to come. So thank you for a wonderful morning. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you. Thank you.